can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Woo! How are you, Spagsy?
Yes. Good, brother. How are you, man?
Good, man. Daniel loves beer. What's going on?
Just having a beer, mate. I thought we'd calm the nerves a little bit and have a chat to my boy. Enjoy a beer Sunday night. Beautiful.
What beer are you having, my man?
So this one here, man's a little local one, Running with Thieves. They're down in South Freo.
Oh yeah.
They'll be opening later in the year, but yeah, cool little new brewery about to pop up soon.
Beautiful. How's it going down?
How are you,
right?
brother? Yeah, nice, man.
Fuck yeah.
Nice,
Good,
bro.
good. Going good, man. Chilling. Got the guitar in the back. Relaxing.
Yeah, man. Sweet.
What were you up to, man? I seen a little photo of you doing a little bicycle tour.
Yeah, so yesterday I was invited by Matt from Go Active. So they've got a few cool tours around Perth, kayaks, bikes. So yeah, got to get on the bike, man. It's been a few years, but that was a bit of fun.
Yeah,
Sore legs this morning, actually, brother.
Different muscles, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I've got my running fitness decent, but riding fitness now no good. So yeah, we went to a couple of breweries, had a few beers, and rode around. It was actually beautiful, man. Really stunning through the city, through the foreshore, and all the rest. So awesome.
Beautiful, bro.
Yeah, man.
I want to start, bro, by asking you a funny question. What's your memories of drinking the Green Fairy Bomb?
Green Fairy Bomb. So
yeah, talk us through that.
Gee, we're probably going back 15 years, perhaps.
Yeah.
So 15 years. My fondest memories are buying them down in Esperance. We went down for a little trip to watch Gyroscope, I think. No, Jebediah, sorry, live down in Esperance. And yeah, Fairy Bombs, absinthe premix. I think were they greenish or something?
Yeah, Green Fairy Bombs. Yeah.
Yeah, Green Fairy Bombs, and 15 years ago, these things were 8% or 7%, and that was unheard of. And we were putting them away, and yeah, getting reasonably lit too. So yeah, they were cool, man. I don't think they make them anymore, but I googled it the other day when you brought it up, and I thought, yeah, this is classic.
That's awesome, man. They go down really well when you brush your teeth as well before you drink them.
That's right. Yeah, the flavour was enhanced, doesn't it, or changed, but in a good way. It usually doesn't work that way, does it?
Yeah, I don't know how you found that out. You just give it a try, brush your teeth, and then smash down a Fairy Bomb. Woo!
Yeah, trial and error, man. Yeah.
Yes, boy.
How did you remember that, man?
I don't know. I was just thinking about when we used to catch up and drink when we first sort of got together, and I remember that trip down to Esperance maybe it was in Jono's Tarago.
Yeah, it was Jono and I think Benny.
Yeah.
Can't remember who else, but yeah, definitely.
It wasn't Michael Herbert. That was a different time, wasn't it?
I think so, man. Yeah. Yeah, we did a few Esperance trips. It was behaved ourselves and had a good time.
Acted accordingly, yes, boys. I want to start by asking you as well, Spagsy. Like, how did this all start? Like, the Daniel Loves Beer. Like, where's that coming from?
It's a good question, man, and it's a little bit hard to pinpoint exact. A month after he was born, I started this blog. So at the time, I think there was nothing behind it, no ambition, no thoughts about where it could potentially go. It just literally, I took a really shitty photo of a beer and popped it up on Instagram. It's quite funny if you scroll back, 400 odd posts 3 years ago, and there was just freaking apples and bananas and everything, just shit, dirty dishes, and I don't know, mate. And it just progressed and become a bit of a passion. How it started, not through anything in particular. Like, I've always loved beers. Always enjoyed drinking different beers, international stuff, and all of that. So
yeah,
it just happened through no particular reason, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. My first memories of you and drinking beers was probably the first time I met you was at like this party in Boulder, I think it was. And there was this like really lanky guy just laying into this guy on the ground. I was like, fuck, this guy's going for it. And then
that's not good. got into a bit of strife back then. I think it was a pretty volatile place.
It was, man. It was every man for himself.
Yeah, and I think I explained to my wife a little bit why we used to get into some strife back then, like me, my brother Benny. I don't know. I don't think the Kalgoorlie people really took very fondly to sort of our fashion and stuff back then. I think we were running a bit of the snakeskin loafers, and I think it was a little bit too much. Like the black hat, black shirt brigade didn't take kindly to it. So yeah, no, that's right. We come out without too much trouble, and we had a hell of a good time in Kalgoorlie, didn't we? So
it was awesome, man. And and my first real memories of that was going to your house on a Friday night and just getting a carton of Corona and just smashing that back, and then going to the basketball and maybe abusing the referee or just like the opposition team when the Goldfields Giants were playing. And
yeah, the basketball was a funny one, wasn't it? I think at the time, my girlfriend perhaps was a fan of the basketball. I was never a fan, but I sort of just went along for a laugh. And yeah, I remember getting some quite strong beers at the time with you. I think they were they Tui's Platinum or something?
Yeah, Tui's Platinum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they like 8%?
Yeah, they had some beef behind them, and put a few of those away, and then go to the basketball, and then end up uptown, and just filthy but fun, memorable
Friday
days.
nights, man. Real good times.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Oh man. But what about so from Corona and then the Tui's, then getting into more of like the pale ales and the boutique beers? When did you sort of find those?
Yeah, I think I progressed probably more so to sort of cheap international beers like some cheap ones that you can get, Hollandia, and who knows what else, man. But just I always enjoyed trying random European beers that I could pick up for a good buck that seemed to be cheaper than the local stuff, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But trying different international ones, and then probably progressed a little bit more. Maybe like meeting Jonas, who's a German friend of mine, got into like Weinstefana, Schäferhofer, wheat beers, blah, 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 blah. So it was just, it just kept progressing. And then from international, I really got stuck into local boutique craft stuff, like just really supporting. Living in Ellenbrook, I was 10 minutes away from MASH, 10 minutes away from Feral, things like that. So really getting behind them, and spending nights at their brew pubs and stuff like that, man. So it just progressed in time, and I think it's very similar to a lot of people. Their eyes are just open to what's available. Like, it's not just Carlton Cold or Tui's Extra Dry these days. There's some absolutely phenomenal, crazy beers available. And still there, bro?
Yeah, sorry, man. It got a bit funny there for a second when you were talking right at the end there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just froze up for a little bit.
Let me just pause it for a second, bro.
Yeah, back on?
Yes, boys.
Sweet, brother. Technology, man. We're always at the mercy of technology, aren't we?
Man, I just got NBN as well, so this should be pumping.
Yeah, I'm just on my phone, man. So I don't know if it's my side or your side or what.
I don't know. That's all good. When did you move from Kalgoorlie to Perth, bro?
Must have been about 10 years ago, man. I think I was 22 or so. Moved up with my brother and made the big leap to the city life. And yeah, no doubt that move brought with it new opportunities. There wasn't a lot of craft beer or anything like that in Kalgoorlie at that stage at all, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But coming to the city and then all of a sudden finding all these fancy breweries and things you haven't really heard of opened your eyes. And obviously you were pretty intrigued and wanted to try them. So yeah, that played a part. Absolutely, man.
I remember going to the Belgian Beer Cafe in the city. That was a ripper, that one.
Yeah, it still is. to this day, I still love Belgian beer. When I got married to my wife in Denmark a few years ago, we visited Belgium, and that experience on a beer level was just absolutely phenomenal, man. They do crazy beer. Yeah, it's a hell of a place. So yeah,
and real potent ones as well. Hey, like 12%.
yeah, there's some very strong beers of Belgium. Yeah.
Oh, nice. And
yeah,
then, so then going from there to then sort of going around your local breweries like Feral and Mash and that, was that like just a few years down the track as you sort of like started exploring around Perth and finding that sort of area?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I don't think it was an instant thing. I think for the first few years, first couple of years, it was more so heading to the Dean and Paramount and that, not breweries.
Yes,
it was
boys.
Just at a different stage of life.
Yeah.
Partying flat out, and now that's not me now. I just like to appreciate beer generally during the daytime hours as well, which I love some day beers.
Yes.
So yeah, I've matured with my beers too.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how life changes when you get a bit older, and then your values sort of change, and then your time as well. What you can do with your time, because you've got a couple of kids as well.
Yeah, it's a massive balancing act. Got the two boys, so I have to be present. Being a good dad for the most part as priority one, and then priority two. In my situation, there's a lot of beer events and launches, invites, festivals, but it's just a massive balancing act. Like I can't pull the piss essentially and leave Angie to do everything. So it fit it in with my schedule, try and get to one every couple of weeks or something. Just keep, the main thing is keeping the family happy and intact. And it started off as a real hobby, turned into a passion. Now it's quite consuming in a good way, as long as I control like the social media side of things, because as you know, that can sort of consume you if you're on it 7 days a week.
What do you sort of do with that?
So we've implemented some cool things. We try our best on the weekend to have a screen-free day, total screen-free day. So just drop all devices and just be present in the moment with the family. Every night when I come home at 4 o'clock, we just try and drop tools for a couple of hours. So really try and manage it as best as possible, and just be there, be in the moment with the kids. The last thing I'd want is for my kids to just get addicted to phones at an early age because they're seeing dad and mum on the phones and all that. So try and manage it as best. This whole thing is a massive balancing act, man. Just keeping everyone happy, trying to keep up appearances, but first and foremost, keep the family happy. So
that's awesome, man. That's huge.
Yeah, right.
Oh, nice, man. Nice. And with beers, bro, have you, like, because you drank a lot of beers, have you worked out any ones that are your favorite that you sort of go to quite regularly, or you're always constantly trying different beers?
It's a crazy world at the moment. You've got just new brews coming out every other day. It's hard. It's hard to keep up. I don't sort of consistent beers in the fridge, because at the same time I like to drink quality beer, but not too much of it. I don't just fill my fridge with a carton of beer and then go to town on the weekend drinking 20 beers. I've fallen into a bit of a routine where I try my best not to drink Monday to Thursday, and I'll enjoy some beers, but unless I'm in a social environment or an event or something at home, I probably wouldn't have any more than sort of 2 or 3 with a family of a night. So I don't fill my fridge with a heap of beers. It's more so who I want to focus on from my page, what beers I would like to review or pay some attention to. So if I do want to fill the fridge, so for barbecues and gatherings and that, I try and go like a nice cheap local lager, and there's heaps of options at the moment. Mash to a nice one, Chicky Monkey, all sorts, or I go like a European one with my European, some Danish lager. To answer your question, it's forever changing, really. Like there's always something new in the fridge rotating through. Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice, bro. Nice. And just with social media, bro, with your Instagram, like do you sort of like plan like posts sort of thing, like how you do them, or is it sort of just keep going as you go, as you find your way as you go, and just
I've got a very active mind, so like it's always ticking. So today I might be thinking about what I'll do in 3 days' time as far as an idea goes. If you look at my page, there's a mixture of I guess what you could call artistic stuff, where I'd set up a real color schemes and some props and artistic type stuff as well. There's stuff involving me on camera, and then there's stuff just outdoors in the backyard where we got the best lighting and all of that. But I don't generally just go to the fridge, grab a tin and then sort of capture it. I sort of have an idea of where I'm going next. Like on that bike tour yesterday, I actually took a little tinny in my backpack because I knew we were going to go over the Matagara Bridge, and that particular tin that I'm talking about, that they've actually got the artwork on the can. So nice. I identified that, and I thought this is the opportunity to get there and actually photograph it with the bridge. So the mind's always ticking about what I can do next, and I like to change it up a bit because I don't want to get boring or stagnant. There are a hell of a lot of people doing this beer thing, so it's important to try and be quite unique and stand out a little bit. So I try and mix some laughs in with pure fact, with opinion, stories. Really try to keep it fresh and interesting, not just simply a picture of a beer with a star rating or something like that. I try and keep it real fresh.
That's awesome, man. I noticed you're getting very creative, bro, and very descriptive as well.
Yeah, which is challenging in itself because sometimes you just want to crack a beer and enjoy it and not go through all that stuff, which I do as well. Like the ones I feature on my page, maybe 3 a week or something. They're the 3 that I'll think about and capture and write about. But then in the background, I'll enjoy some without photographing it and without thinking about it, because that can get tiresome. You just want to enjoy a beer for what it is sometimes. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself just having a beer though, and just like all these thoughts going through your head, like, oh, how can I explain this, or how can I sort of get this out? Or is it sometimes you just have to switch that off?
I guess being in the position that I am, I tend to like this beer here. I'm not going to take a photo of it. I'm not going to review it. I'm drinking it, but I'm thinking a little bit about it as well. If I come into contact with some guys from running with Thieves to give some feedback, or they ask my opinion or whatever, I still like to sort of remember the brew and try and understand what it was about. I do tend with my posts or reviews or whatever you want to call them, I don't give a star rating because it is very opinion based.
Yeah.
I think it's quite unfair. Not unfair, but if your store absolutely loves it with a 5 out of 8, it's really individual taste. So I prefer on my platform never to degrade brewery. I know so many people now who work at the breweries and behind the scenes, and they really just don't need people kicking them in the teeth with people need to be honest with what they're drinking, but I don't think you need to call out breweries and just
Focus on negativity.
Them, like if you, I certainly focus on positivity with all my posts. And if I came across a beer that really was horrendous, I think I'd much prefer just to not post it, maybe contact the brewery and say, look, this can was an absolute dud. I don't think many beers are truly horrendous, but some things can go wrong scientifically with the canning, and the beers can go off and shit like that. And there's a lot of people that they video themselves and they pour the beer down the sink and make a big scene of it. And it's just like, that's been super negative towards, no, there's real people behind these breweries, it's not just a brewery name, they're real people and they get livelihoods and all of this. So definitely. I don't go down that route, man. It's in my best interest to look at things properly and not be degrading or
that's horrible, man. Hey, if people doing that, there's no real need for that sort of behavior.
Any breweries, absolutely. It's maybe that sort of keyboard warrior type setup. They're behind a keyboard and you can say what you want, and you don't have any understanding of how that makes.
You don't understand the ramifications of what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like the beer industry is wonderful. There's so many really good, nice, caring people, and everyone's got families, and you don't want to be just trashing them for the sake of it. So
that's right, man.
Have some respect.
That's awesome. Do you have breweries and different beer companies like hitting you up all the time on your DMs about doing posts or tours and things like that?
The longer I've been doing this, the more I've sort of built up my page or my brand, and the more breweries that I've met and all the rest. There's some opportunities there to get some perks, or to really get immersed in the industry. Like I don't work in the industry or anything, but I've been brought into it via this platform, and I've got a good relationship with a lot of breweries, a lot of local cool local breweries, and I consider them some of them mates now. Catch up with a few of them down at the pub outside of working hours, and we just chat. And it's certainly not about just getting free beers or whatever. It's about helping the industry, back in the industry. And this is a passion of mine, a hobby of mine. So anything that comes my way is a bonus. But at the end of the day, I'm doing it because I really enjoy it. And I want to support the local guys, and it's my way of sort of being a part of the beer world without actually working in it. I've got a full-time job, so this is all done after hours, and so there's a few nice opportunities of people asking me to come on a tour, or I do a monthly live video show now from a different brewery every month.
Nice.
We're interviewing brewers and owners and stuff, changing it up every month, and that's been a really wonderful opportunity as well. And I think stepped out of my comfort zone with these live recordings. Not a massive fan of public speaking, as a kid at school and stuff, but right now I can say I'm reasonably comfortable with it. And that's another wonderful opportunity, because you get to head there when there's no public there. You get behind the scenes look. You get to have a drink with the brewers, the owners, and really get on their level and form friendships. So yeah, there's some really, really cool stuff going on, man. Heaps of cool stuff.
That's awesome, man. And how did you sort of work on your public speaking? You just put yourself out there, keep doing it?
Yeah, like my first big gig was while Perth and the rest of Australia were on lockdown. We did a beer tour. We went to 3 different breweries. They weren't open at the time, but we did a live cross on Facebook Live, and we chatted with the brewers and owners. We went to the people at home and we encouraged them to buy beers to support them while they weren't open, which is very important. And it was just, that was the first one that I did. And looking back at that now, I could see how nervous I was on the earlier segments, but then I worked my way into it and just become comfortable with it. I mean, people are watching at home, but there's no one really in the brewery, so you're just going to chat, just the way I am chatting to you today, on a mate level, and just, like this is all knowledge and experience. So it's a work in progress. I still getting nervous. Got another one in 2 weeks. We're actually going to Mash Brewing in 2 weeks to do another live one. So in the days leading up, I'll still you think about it a little bit, and you just you develop some nerves. But that's the same as anything. You go play cricket and you get a bit nervous, or footy or whatever. So I think it's healthy. That's good. That's a good thing. You don't want to get too complacent, because then you might not perform. So I'm just still learning, mate, as I go, getting more comfortable and it's good stuff. So I'm happy that's gone down. So it's good.
That's good, man. Sorry, cut you off. I remember we used to open the batting together, and a good way for you to calm your nerves and relax the butterflies would be to have a few beers the night before. Sometimes you even say when we're batting out there, you're still a bit drunk.
Yeah, that was quite common actually, because we're in our late teens, early 20s, and it was almost a guarantee to go out before a game. There was no staying home and being healthy before a game and being in top physical condition, was there? We hit the town, we smash the beers, we'd turn up and hope for the best, and sometimes it'd come off and sometimes it'd get clean ripped first up. But it was a good way to settle the nerves, because you were sort of more worried about your hangover than you were about the guy coming in off 30 steps, putting a few brand new kookaburras down at you. So that was good memories, bro.
that was real good times, bro. And we're in at the moment and at the moment we're in Perth, WA, and it's winter time. So does that sort of change your approach with what you're drinking? So you're drinking more like stouts and stuff?
Yeah, it really does. I really enjoy the bigger beers. I think summer is all about sort of the lighter beers, your barbecues, your social gatherings where you could maybe the beers that are easier to put away, multiples of. But come winter, man, it's pretty exciting. Dark beers, you might only have 1 or 2, because sometimes you're talking about double figure percentage, 10% beers or 15 or whatever. But it's like it's fun. It's a cold drink, but it's a bit of a warmer. It's that booziness gives you that warm feeling, when you have a whiskey or something and it goes down and it's warming essentially. So definitely seasonal beers are a big thing. In summer, you're seeing a hell of a lot more sours. lighter tropical drinks. Come winter, you see a lot of red ales, red IPAs, stouts, porters, things like that. So yeah, just change with the season. I mean, Perth doesn't get terribly cold, but you know, anytime that it's sort of under 20, we probably consider it a bit cold, even though people in Europe and over east will probably laugh at us for that.
It'd be an English summer, man.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, man. Like these Perth winters, today was probably 20 degrees, sun out all day. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, but absolutely, man. But you know, during summer, I still like to have a dark beer, and that it's not putting me off if it's in the mid 30s, and if I want to have a stout, I have a stout or whatever. So yeah. But the general conception is, yeah, beers are very seasonal, and during winter. So I'm just pouring a beer, man. So I was just making sure I'm not spilling it.
You pouring the same one, same brand?
No, I got a little different one now. This one's actually, I should have kept it all local, really, to keep up. But this one is a South Australian one. Let me see it there. It's called Boozy Fruit. I think I think there's an ice cream. It's based on an ice cream. Is there? What ice cream is
something?
It?
Is it called something fruit?
Yeah, something fruit. Was it?
Not juicy fruit.
Yeah, something like that. It could be. Yeah, I think it's based on an ice cream anyway. But yeah, going back to that question. So the breweries locally, absolutely, nearly every brewery will release like a big stout or something in the winter.
Yeah.
And then you might not see it again until the next winter. And they might release some sours and other things in summer, and then you might not see it again for a year. So yeah, they're called seasonals, limited releases, and yeah, if you don't get on them quick, they will disappear. So yeah, buy them, get into it.
Nice, brother, nice. And do you have like a favorite sort of style of beer, or you just try it all?
I do try it all. I don't think that question, probably more so, is there anything I don't like? And that's probably a no. I haven't discovered any style that I just say no. So sours used to be a funny one. Actually, Angie, my wife, has liked sours for many, many years, and I used to buy one here and there, and I had a sip and I was like, no, that's not for me. But over the last few years, I've developed a taste for it, and now I have to buy two of the sours, because one for Angie, one for me. So
nice.
Yeah, a particular style. Oh, there's so many, man. There's so many. I like some really big dark beers. You know, those type of beers, 10% or whatever. You'll crack open and you'll sit on it for an hour. Like it's not a beer. It's not a beer that you have at a barbecue and you put one down 5 minutes, another one 5 minutes. You'll sit there for an hour, and it might be the only beer that you have for the night. You know, because it's so boozy. But you know, just to sit there, watch a movie or have a chat or whatever, and you have a sip. It's cool. So, favorite style, brother. I like the hoppy beers, the IPAs, but at the same time, I'm more than happy to have a lager, pale ale, stout, just everything, man. Like my love for beers is far and wide. Absolutely.
That's awesome, man. And there's so many craft breweries opening up as well, locally and all around Australia. It's amazing, hey?
Absolutely, man. It's hard to keep. It's hard to keep up. It really is. Every other month there's a new one in the works. So there's a brand new one, you probably are aware, on West Swan Road there, that's about to open in a few months. You probably drove past that a few times. Bailey Brewing.
Yeah, crossroad from the Henley Brook.
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah. There's a brand new one popping up in Bustleton in a few months. There's always construction and new ones popping up. Running with Thieves down in South Freo, open in September, October.
Yeah.
Yes. It's booming at the moment. The beer industry is booming. There's new companies. They might be small, or they might have multi-million-dollar backers, but every other month you hear of a new one popping up, and it's awesome. Like, we're absolutely blessed in Perth with variety. There's still breweries that have been around for years that I still haven't been to, because there's just so many. It's crazy.
Yeah, awesome, man, awesome. And I want to talk about your Instagram again. Just you've got a new logo recently. So like, do you
Yeah,
want
I
to talk
did.
about the process of that?
Yeah, so I never really thought about a logo. I know we had a little discussion and you said it was a good idea. That was before I decided to get one. And then there's a potential opportunity for myself going forward in the near future that may require me to have a logo. So someone actually sort of gave me a little bit of a nudge to say, we encourage you to get one.
Yeah, right.
So that was enough. That was enough of a word up to look into it. So yeah, I went through the proper channels. Like I contacted an artist. I know a guy who's done some stuff for breweries before, and I put my faith in him, and we came to an arrangement. I'm sending him some WA beers, so spreading the love over to the East Coast with some beers that they might not be able to get, and then little bit of cash for his time as well, because I think that went for about maybe a month, man, back and forth with there's so many drafts and do you like this and what do you want to change and shadows and doing your arms bigger or smaller, keep it pretty natural, man. I haven't been to the gym in a few years, so the biceps aren't as big as they were. So
yeah, man.
He's gone to town on my facial hair. It's probably more facial hair that's actually in real life, but it's probably quite hard to portray the patchiness that I have now. So we just went with a fully fledged beard, which is cool. But it's incredible for anyone who knows me personally or whatever. I think he's just done a phenomenal job because it really looks like me. There was a particular photo that I sent him, and I thought let's base it on this. It just essentially was me having a beer, having a good time, and then we worked on it, and back and forth, and he's a supremely talented guy. So we settled on that finally, and I think I revealed that last week, and I'm stoked with it, to be honest, man. It's a really cool thing. So
yeah, who is he again? Sorry, Specs.
So yeah, he's just he actually works over in Melbourne.
Okay.
And as far as I'm aware, he actually works for a brewery over there doing some graphics for them as well. They're called Bonehead Brewing. They're not. I don't think they've got a presence over here. So yeah, I don't think too many people on the West Coast would know about them. But yeah, it was just a random type of hookup, man. But I'm thrilled I went with him because he just nailed it. So yeah, I have to put together a little package for him and send him some beers next week to say thanks. So yeah, awesome, really man. Thrilled with it.
Awesome. And one of your most recent posts, bro, is the one where got the old graffiti can out. You're about to do a bit of football hooligan sort of behaviour. Was that inspired from like Perth Glory days or going down the game?
Yeah, just so the can itself had it was called Bad Boy Bayo by Black Brewing. So they've got a little stout that's about 5%, which is just called Bayo, and then yearly they release a big one close to 9% that's called Bad Boy. It's like the panda turns bad, and nice. The artwork on that can was like the panda being bad. He had a spray can. He was like going to town on a wall with a bit of graffiti. So yeah, that's when my mind just sort of started racing. So it was a funny build up to that. I sort of, first of all, what did I do? I located some artwork that I was happy with on the street. Then I actually went to BCF. I bought a balaclava.
Yeah.
I wanted to portray that bad boy look, balaclava. I procured some red spray paint. And just like wore a green tracksuit, try to look a little bit hooligan, and then it was funny, man. We went there at 10 a.m. in the morning, and I didn't realize at the time, but it was right across the road from a church. Yeah, I was about to jump out the car with a balaclava in Midland of all places. And there was they were at the front of their Sunday mass gathering.
Perfect.
there was people everywhere. So I said to Angie, no, we can't do this. The cops are going to rock up or something. So we came a few hours later, and the church folk had gone home, and there was a little bit more clear air. So yeah, I sort of jumped out the car with my balaclava on, and then got my wife to take a few photos of me spraying the paint and all of that. Someone walked past at the time, and a balaclava on, and I just gave him a wave and said, "G'day, mate. I try to be friendly. I'm not trying to hold someone up at the moment, or I'm not actually doing anything illegal." But yeah, it was funny. Got a bit of a funny situation that, but that just, I guess that just shows I'm trying to be creative and push limits and just fresh stuff, man. Like, and that post, I was so thrilled with it. I thought it looked amazing. So I thanked my wife for taking such a good photo, and it went a bit ballistic. That post, just because it's different at the end of the day, you know, being a bit naughty during the day, and it's cool. So that all ties in with me trying to do different things, being a bit unique,
being creative.
So
yeah, that's awesome. Does Angie always take your photos, or do you have anyone at a particular time?
No, only when I'm in the photo, it will only be generally Angie taking it. Usually I take when I have spare hands, I'll take my own photos, but sometimes I've only got that many hands. So yeah, Angie gets a call up. She might roll her eyes a little bit, but she's sort of warmed up. She's warmed up into the role as well. So I call her my manager just for a laugh every now and then. My artistic director or whatever. And she gets the job done. So it's nice to have someone on board who's sort of backing you in. With some support and all of that. Then yeah, man, support's key. Positivity. I know me and you bounce off each other a lot. Promoting each other's brand and just being positive. Some people still view these things as a bit of a joke and a bit of a laugh and all that, but I think they're just being negative people, and maybe they're not just doing any cool things for themselves. So
I think so, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, man. Oh, that's sick. That's funny.
Yeah, man.
I want to talk about Perth Glory again, because we've spent some time being shed members, part of the Shed Boys, the Glory Army, and that. And just what are your experiences there, and with the beers there, like at the stadium there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So massive Glory fan. I'm not sure where the passion for football really came from, because my brother doesn't like it. My dad doesn't really like it. We just
big rugby boys, isn't he?
Yeah, rugby boys. Yeah, footy boys. So we sort of we fell into this Glory family, and I don't know. I've always enjoyed that football culture, the singing, not that we were ever hooligans or anything like that, but bit of hooliganism. The ultras, that's quite fascinating stuff, like all the pyro that they do. And you know, I remember a few times where Western Sydney Wanderers came over to Perth and Victory, and they went ballistic with flares and all that, and it's just a massive buzz. And sometimes the Perth guys, they got in a lot of trouble for doing it, but you know, just letting off bulk fireworks and pyro and that. And I mean, it wasn't me doing it, but yeah, it's still, you know, you smell the smoke and it's a bit of a buzz, and it creates a crazy atmosphere. It's illegal.
There's energy to it, isn't it?
It's cool. Yeah, it's mad energy, man. And you know, I say to Angie every now and then, I think it's a good thing that I didn't grow up in England or something.
Yeah.
Because I think I I have that in me. I would have been a real fanatic. You know, away days.
Bro. Yeah,
going with the boys to away days, and just a proper lad, going to the pubs and smashing pints and just being fanatical about it. It's not as much of a huge thing over here. Like, I love.
Pretty hard to go to an away day here, isn't it? You have to
fly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, I still love to get to a Glory game every now and then, but it's a little bit tougher with my family and all of that. So I get to them when I can. But the beers at Glory. I mean, they're sponsored. That stadium's sponsored by Gage Roads now. So the beers definitely got better at Glory games and at Optus Stadium for the Eagles and Dockers and all of that.
Yeah.
Gauge roads do some cool things, and yeah, they taste a lot better than they did back in the day. Absolutely, it's still a little bit pricey for what it is, But
Yeah.
yeah, if you're clever, you tend to have a fair pre-game and load up on some good beers beforehand, and then get to the game a little bit lit and go from there. So
Yeah.
you have to work on these things. Yeah.
We used to go down to Elephant Wheelbarrow, didn't we? Back in the day. Start there and just march to the stadium.
Yeah, no, amazing, man. Like, yeah, it's a pretty cool scene here in Australia, especially on the east coast, with Western Sydney, Melbourne Victory, Sydney FC, and all of that. They've got some pretty passionate followers. Perth do as well. It's just Perth is a footy state more than anything.
Yeah,
So
big time.
we don't get the crowds as much as we'd like, but yeah, it's still fun. It's still got a passion for it. So one day when the air clears a little bit, we'll be back down there in the shed, brother.
Yes,
crazy.
we're overdue. And
Absolutely,
yeah. Talking about your missus, bro. So is her background Danish?
Yeah. So Angie's dad is a Dane. Moved over as a teenager. Angie's mum is Australian, but with Italian parents. So there's a bit of a Danish cross Italian thing there. But Angie's mum lives over in Hobart. So yeah, my dealings here in Perth are with Angie's dad's side of the family, all Danes, which is, I love Denmark. I've loved the few times we got married in Denmark. I love going back there. They've got some flipping amazing beers too. Amazing craft beer scene over in Denmark. Over here, we get a particular Danish beer called Tuborg, which means a little bit to me because my traveling party of boys and family went over to Denmark to my wedding, and we crunched so many Tuborg beers. So to find out that we could come back to Perth and actually buy those Tuborg beers, there's a little bit of sentimental value. And when we have a family barbecue, or just last weekend at my son's 3rd birthday, I bought a carton of Tuborg for the father-in-law and a few guests who came around. So it's a cool thing. It's got a bit of meaning, bit of feeling behind it. It's yeah. So awesome. Yeah, I'm stoked to have been married into a Danish family. The culture, the different food and the different beer, and yeah, being able to go get married in Denmark, and we, Angie's got some family still there, some friends still there, so we got contacts, much like you in Germany, bro. We've got some people we're really fond of over there, and when we can, we'd love to get back there again, and especially now that my craft beer passion has developed, I'd love to get back there because they've got some phenomenal breweries in Copenhagen and different places like that. So
yeah. Nice. What's a place that you visited anywhere in the world that's got like the most amount of craft beers, like on tap or just like available at a pub sort of thing?
Yeah, good question, man. Good question. So we went for a holiday in 2018 to the UK. We ended up in the Lakes District, which is where's that? That's northern England, sort of near a little bit north of Liverpool and Newcastle and stuff. Beautiful area. But this particular town we stayed at had a little crafty pub, and they actually had a chalkboard with 100 different beers on it. So which is absolutely mind blowing that you had an option to select 100 beers. So in a place that you don't know, the UK, you know your Australian beers and all that, but it was just being a kid in the candy shop. Angie and I, we went with our mother-in-law, luckily. So I think we only had 2 nights out together without the kids in 3 weeks that were there in the UK, but that was one of those nights.
Oh, perfect.
So we put quite a few away, and yeah, that's an awesome memory, that one. Other than that, I think Bruges in Belgium, the memories of that place and the amount of beer, and just it's phenomenal. Like I don't often probably go back to the same place, and if I went to Europe again, that is certainly a place that I'd love to go back to. Is Belgium, maybe Brussels, Bruges. As far as beer goes, phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sick, man. What about in Perth? What's like a place that has heaps of beers?
So in Perth, got some amazing pubs in Perth. So if we're talking bars in the city, you're probably looking at Petition Beer Lounge, I think it's called. They've often got like 20 different taps on. Old Faithful Bar. They do some wicked barbecued meats and that, and they've got about 18 taps on themselves. There's so many, man. Like often I'll go to breweries themselves, but there's some phenomenal bars around the place. I mean, every suburb's really got their own little offering now. I think craft beer is so big that you don't often go to a bar or a pub where you can't find craft beer at some level. So yeah, I mean the Henley Brook in the Swan Valley's got some cool craft rotations. There's heaps.
It's limitless, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's sick, man. Do you have like a favorite? I don't know if I ask you, but do you have like a favorite beer out of all the beers you've had?
Oh, there's some
top three.
It's just very, very difficult when you're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beer. Thousands. I don't know how many beers.
Yeah.
It's we've been putting a few beers away since we were 17 or whatever. I'm now 34, so that's a few beers under your belt. Oh, that's tough. That's a supremely tough question. There was a beer. I'm not saying it was the best beer I've ever had, but there was a beer that I'll never forget that we had on my son's first birthday, and I shared it with my father-in-law, who's Tom's grandfather. It was 16 or 17%. So very, very strong, from Brewdog in Scotland.
Yeah, right.
And I remember I actually did a post on my page. I took a photo of the moment where my father-in-law took a sip of this beer, and his face just turned up, and it was absolutely classic because the beer was so potent, and I'll never forget that because it was my son's birthday, and just the reaction on his face to this extreme beer, just priceless. But no, to pinpoint favorites is very, very, very difficult, brother. Very difficult.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Every time you must have a different beer, or every time you have a beer that reminds you of a certain place, you must have so many memories from all your experiences of just having all these different beers all around the world and around Perth and that. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got memories galore of beers in Europe and beers over east, and I'm really fond of Tasmania as well. We try and go to Tasmania every year, so I'm really in tune about what Hobart and Tasmania is doing with their craft beer scene as well. It's a little bit of a home away from home for me, so some really cool stuff over there. And anywhere I go somewhere, if there's a brewery or a bar that's sort of beer focused, I would try and make an effort to get there and check it out and have a beer and just experience it. There's so many cool breweries where you're sitting right in the working, the everyday workings of the brewery. Like you sit right next to the tanks, and there's bubbling, and there's bloody this and that, and it's cool. It really gives you a feel about how the breweries work, and I like it.
That's sick, man. Do you have you got a few tours coming up in the Pipeworks? You got on that one in MASH? Is that in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, so we got a live video in 2 weeks from MASH Brewery on, I think that was on a Wednesday night in a couple of weeks. So we're sitting down with a couple of the boys there, a couple of the brewers, and we're gonna talk some talk some smack, enjoy some beers, and put the focus on Mash Brewery for that evening. We go through a few of their current beers available. We talk about them. We encourage people at home to buy them and to drink it. I know it's tough sometimes on a Wednesday night for a lot of people to have beers at home, but yeah, the last one we did at Heroes and Villains was very successful. I think that the lady from Hidden Detours, it's a tour company here in Perth. She's the one that's running the whole show. She's very happy about the business it's bringing to her. There's so many people engaging with us, and like, yeah, our video from a couple of weeks ago had 2,000 viewers, which blows my mind. I mean, where do they all come from? Yeah. So thank you to those people, and my mates tune in and bounce some questions off us and the brewers and engage, and we encourage the people at home to get involved in it. So it's a really cool thing, and Monique from Hidden Detours isn't getting paid or anything. She's doing this off her own bat, and it's just about, it came up in lockdown during COVID, and it's just progressed from there. And yeah, we're doing some cool things and meeting some cool people. So yeah, that's my next thing. That's my next thing coming up. The Perth Craft Beer Festival in September. That's a huge thing on the beer calendar. That's at Claremont Showgrounds this year. It's a big party, and there's stacks and stacks and stacks of I don't know how many breweries turn up to those things, but we've got breweries coming from New Zealand, over east, a stack of Perth breweries down south, Margaret River and Dunsborough and all of that.
Yeah.
And they just all get together on the night. They all know each other. It's a great party atmosphere, and there's just a lot of good beer kicking about. And yeah, that's a big event on the calendar every year. So I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah, we've locked away some babysitters, so Angie and I are actually going, and Angie's going to her first one. So yeah, keen. You're good.
How do you plan for that, bro? Like when you try all the beers and you want to sort of taste everything, and you want to sort of get an idea and sort of keep an account. What do you do? Like, do you sort of have a beer and write down some notes about it, and then, or just try to not to drink too much of it, and then go to the next one?
Yeah. So it's a night to enjoy.
Yeah.
It's a night to not think too much about it. Like I'm not going there doing reviews or generally taking many photos. It's a night to obviously you have to be careful with what you're doing. There's so many beers these days that are like upward of 6%, right up to 10, 11, 12, whatever. So remain responsible, probably have smaller serving sizes, maybe start smaller and end your night a little bit bigger, and then call it at a reasonable hour, and don't be a dick.
Yes, boys.
But it's a pretty cool environment. It's that the nightlife scene in Perth can be viewed as a little bit Wild West, and a few knobheads running around the place. But I've never had any issues there, even with all the big beers. People are just friendly and cool, and they it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe in general. So encourage people to get to that and have a squiz. There's also daytime sessions, and there's 4 or 5 different sessions. So it's really good. Oh, nice. Family focused sessions and nighttime sessions where some DJs and stuff come out. So it's a good thing, bro.
Beautiful, man. I think you touched on it before as well. Like, your favorite time of the day to have a beer, would that be like daytime drinking for you?
Yeah, I mean, people are going to laugh, man, but I'm so often in bed by 8 o'clock during the week. I get up at 5 a.m. having a newborn. He's only 6-7 months old, and a 3-year-old. I just feel constantly tired. Yeah. So me going out of the night to nightclubs and stuff like that is extremely rare now. Like, I would much prefer to go to a lovely brewery where my kids can run around during the day in the sun, on the grass and enjoy some day beers, and then still tuck up at a reasonable hour and not feel like hell the next morning. So that's not about getting pissed and waking up with a raging hangover. It's just about enjoying the quality of beers that are available here and being responsible. Yeah, enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, day drinking, man. I'm a huge advocate for day drinking. Like some of the beer tours and Swan Valley tours and stuff, and Margaret River tours during the day. They're some of my fondest memories. Just getting it a little bit loose during the day. It feels a little bit naughty, doesn't it? But
yeah.
Spring
in the Valley used to be huge, didn't it? Is that still going? Was that finished?
I got no idea. There's still quite a number of cool festivals during the day in the Swan Valley, but I'm not really on finger on the pulse about what's happening there, brother. No.
That's good, man. I like if you're drinking during the day anyway, because if you drink too late at night, it does definitely affect your sleep, your deep sleep.
Absolutely, yeah. Like if you're having a big session of the night, your sleep is horrendous, and I think that's why you wake up horrible the next morning, and when you got commitments the next morning. Like being a dad.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty rough. So
yeah,
you look after yourself and try and limit it. Like in a few months I'll go to the craft beer fest and I may wake up a little bit rough the next morning on that, but it's not a common thing. It's a bit of a rarity and a luxury. So yeah, times have changed, man. I think Kalgoorlie, it was Friday, Saturday, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. Definitely Thursday sometimes.
Yeah, Thursday sometimes. Yeah, different world, isn't it?
And then Sundays, I was playing in a band in Kalgoorlie on Sundays, having Sunday sessions, drinking there as well.
Non-stop.
Those days are gone.
Oh yeah.
That's what happens when you get older, man. The values change.
Absolutely, man. Your priorities change.
Yeah, definitely. Bro, that was an awesome chat.
How long's it been, brother?
I think it's been over an hour.
Oh, yeah, dead set.
yeah, I think so.
It's just absolutely flow, doesn't it?
Yeah. Where can we find you? Where can we find you, Daniel? On the old Instagram?
So I prefer to keep my beer dealings on Instagram at Daniel Loves Beer. I haven't sort of taken it over to Facebook or anything like that. I try and keep my sort of personal life and beer life separate, although my beer life is consuming me a little bit these days, but that's all good. Keep it under wraps. But yeah, feel free to check me out on Instagram, Daniel Loves Beer, and come enjoy the ride of all the beautiful local beers that we have available to us. So cheers for having me on, man. That was an absolute hoot.
Beautiful, bro. That's the debut. Pop the cherry, brother.
Excellent, man. I think I'm looking forward to seeing how it went, but I think it felt good. Felt good.
Felt good. It feels good. Cheers, bro.
Absolutely,
thank you very much. I love following your stuff as well. You're very positive, and I love bouncing ideas off you. And I think it's important to keep like a group of friends close to you that are positive and like-minded, and that are doing things that are on the same sort of page. Yeah, it seems so important.
Likewise, man. You're running a highly entertaining regime yourself there, man. But yeah, I love your positivity, and you've always backed me in. Some people, as I said, still don't understand what we're doing, but we're just having a crack and following our passions, and making things happen. So
that's it, mate. Love it, brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. Love you, bro.
No worries.
See you, bro.
Love you too, bro. See you later.
Take it easy, man. See you,
bro. Yes, boys.
Woo-hoo!